Hello, I'm Chris Athanas. I'm a KMP developer, and tech support's coming out Tuesday to close that bad boy up. Hopefully this time, I'm going to be reacting of the Primetime Primogen, most famous, most popular live ex Netflix coder who's never really done a startup, but thinks he's working at a startup because he's working at Netflix. Again, let's go.
All right, 80% of programmers are not happy.
Wakes you up at 6 a.m. and you have to go to work again because you didn't die in your sleep. Well,
I do wake up at 6 a.m. It's nice to wake up at 6 a.m. You should
Not
be happy
me.
to wake up at 6 a.m., okay?
Yuck.
You should be happy.
you're not alone. 80% of professional developers know this feeling, according to the 2024 Stack Overflow survey results. 1 in 3 programmers actively hate their job.
Damn, that's a crazy number, by the way. To have 1 in 3 actively hate your job or not happy with your job, and only 20%, man, oof.
It sounds about right. I think people get into software development for the wrong reasons. When I got into it, I was just a nerd. I like to think the blinking lights and everything, all the flashing colors, and I was a little bit into games, but mostly into I don't know, what can we do with these things? They're just bizarre. I just started programming when I was 7 or 8 years old at the Children's Computer Museum in the Boston Science Museum, I should say, in Boston, Massachusetts. My parents just dropped me off, let me stay there all day, and I wandered around doing all the science exhibits, and I found the computer room, and that's it. That was all. That was one of my first programming. So people got into software. I mean, when I got into it, it wasn't paying very well. It was okay, but it wasn't like there's other stuff that paid way better. But I didn't have access to it. I wasn't interested, so I didn't really look into it. And not like we had these numbers. There was all available. It's like, oh yeah, you go here, just make a lot of money. It's like, I'll just wander around and getting interested in stuff. So it's only been recently this been like, oh my God, you can totally get rich, dude. It's so easy. All you do is learn a little bit of coding, and you can get a job anywhere. The ZERP. This last 15 years, the ZERP. Yeah, it's been, no wonder people hate their job because they're not supposed to be there.
That hurts.
While nearly half are just plowing through life shackled to their comfort zone, and that leaves only 20% with delusions of happiness. Personally, I could pound my keyboard all day and be happy, and that's why I found these results quite shocking.
I actually do find that result. Well, I mean, I guess I can't find it too shocking because I did work at a company earlier on called Schedulicity, and I honestly thought I would rather take salt and put it on my eyeballs.
Well, guess what? How many people have that same experience? Because they're not working at engineering focused companies like Netflix. They're working at these. I have a business thing, and I don't know how to exploit it without hiring the cheapest possible engineers I can find to fill this role, so I can exploit this market segment without really knowing how coding works or how all the buzzwords all put together. I just know I can hire that guy and he'll figure it out for me. And then the guy's like, his dream is not to do a scheduling software. His dream is to do pet sitting or a dog social network. So yeah, you're going to be upset.
Than to go through working at that place. I would rather step on a Lego 3 times an evening than work at that place.
Well, that's how most people, Primogen. I know this is really, really outside. You can't really see how you even stay in something like that. But some people got to pay bills. Like this is better than waiting tables kind of level thing. And you got lucky, buddy, that you got in an engineering organization. Most companies are not like that. It's really hard to get through to someone that's had so much success and just assumes everyone else is just having the same kind of stuff going on. It's like, no.
It was awful. It was just not a good place.
Yeah, that's
I felt
most
dead on the
people,
inside.
buddy.
Why was it so bad? There was absolutely no drive or excitement within the
Why
company at
would
all.
there
It was
be?
just like, those scenes with where it's like a death.
Why would there be? This is a ZERP environment, buddy. We want to exploit some market that's not being exploited somehow, and we want to take all the market share somehow. We don't want to pay a lot to get there.
And then one
What
of
do you
those.
think's gonna happen?
Why can't I remember what those things are called? Shit. Why can't I remember? Tumbleweed. Dude, I literally have tumbleweeds on my property. How did I not remember that?
Tumbleweeds.
Anyways, tumbleweeds. It's like a gas station with a tumbleweed. It was a mirage. It was super depressing. And even though I'd only work for 5 hours a week and the rest of the time just work on my own stuff, it just made me so depressed. I don't know what
Okay, that's most people, dude.
it was. I absolutely struggled. Even though it was amazing for my time. It just hurt.
Members are well paid, get tons of vacation, can work remote, and even when forced back into the office, they usually have nap pods and adult ball pits to help ward off depression. But apparently that's not enough. In today's video, we'll dive.
I don't think toys at work make a job any better.
It actually attracts people because what it says, the tone is, hey, we're going to just have a lot of fun all day and fuck off. Whereas real businesses, they don't really have time for that bullshit, man. We have to make ends meet, and we're trying to exploit a market before we go out of business. Not, hey, we want to get all the new hip kids. And it's just getting the head count here because it basically doesn't cost us nothing. So come on in. Yeah, and we want to make sure. We want to make sure anybody that may compete with us, because we don't really have that big of a moat right now. We know that most of the stuff is extremely low hanging fruit, and we want to make sure any kind of competition that may come up, we can use our free money to kill them.
I really am not.
You expect there's going to be a really great environment to express your ideas.
Convinced of it, and maybe that's my old age speaking. Maybe when I was a kid, having like the ping pong tables and the Xboxes and all that.
Yes, it was extremely attractive to lots of people who didn't really want to do computer software. What are you talking about? I don't want to do that shit. I want to play the bullputt. I want to play video games all day at the ping pong table and drink beer.
Crap made it great, but maybe I've just gotten old.
People got super spoiled. They think that that's normal. There's actually engineers who have not worked in any other environment except that one who thinks that that's normal, and they're not gonna go into anything less.
Old and angry, but now for me it's just like I don't want to go to a work in which there's any of that. It could be a boomer take. This could very well be a boomer take, or maybe
no. It's just like different priorities, man. Well, first of all, that stuff's gone. You know, there's not. If you get caught using that stuff, even like in this condition, whenever everyone's like Google's like, oh, they've been 15,000 people right off. What am I next? You won't be caught dead at a ping pong table.
Maybe it's something a little bit different. Maybe I'm not a toddler anymore. Right?
It's kind of a plastic hollow, like you wish you had time for this. We're gonna work you to the bone.
Like maybe I'm no longer a toddler. So therefore, it just doesn't. Yeah, I would use the fuck out of a nap pod to be honest. Okay, fair. Someone's just like, so it's sex toys. I think he's being sarcastic. Yeah. Yes, he is being sarcastic, but they're literally.
Look, man, most people don't want to work. I don't know if it's a big shocker. I don't know. He's like, oh wow, you're so wise to figure that out. Yeah, most people just don't want to work, dude. I mean, did you just get here? I know you're like, oh boy, I'm gonna make smoke meth. No more meth. I'm gonna do video games and program computers. That's gonna. You're wired different. Me, and I'm kind of wired that way, so I get it. But I also see this other side because I took 10 years off from tech, 7 years. Well, I don't know. I took a lot of time off and was like doing other stuff. And this guy's like, kind of a little bit out of touch, maybe.
Exist an entire world where there's all these companies with actual like play toys for adults, right? Apparently water cooler, coffee machine, and fruit Tuesdays or Thursdays are not enough of a distraction for TikTok brains. They're just not.
Dissect the brain of the modern code monkey and examine its weird environment to find the truth about why farmers and plumbers are statistically more happy, and most importantly, what you can do to cope about it. It is July 29, 2024, and you're watching the Code Report. Last week, the Stack Overflow annual survey was released with over 65,000 responses from.
We actually read through a huge portion of this thing, and they still, by the way, if you're wondering, they still have crazy graphs. That just make no sense, and they still have crazy categories. Every single time you look at it, it's like, what the hell is this?
It's not the only thing, dude.
Why?
There are other ones, other surveys, but this is just
under
one of them.
Embedded category. Okay. I'm just hurting.
From professional developers around the world, and it contains a ton of surprising insights about the current state of programmers and technology. Not only will we look at this.
Remember, these are surveys, right? They're not actually going watching these people at work doing what they're doing. Okay.
Yeah, but also anecdotes from strangers on the internet to show.
To be fair, though, remember, what is Stack Overflow? So this is generally how I think about Stack Overflow. Is let's pretend this is a timeline of experience. So when you're new, you Google a lot. And when you Google, you almost always, due to just amazing SEO, you go to Stack Overflow. So I typically think that the Stack Overflow crowd looks something like this, where the bulk of people are here, and it has some sort of like, kind of like one of those kind of curves going on. You know what
Yeah, there would be no Stack Overflow if the somehow we had better documentation about how to put these stuff together. If academia would have caught up to the computer science thing and had an actual discipline called documentation about how to actually do write these documents so people will actually go refer to them first as opposed to going to Stack fucking Overflow.
I mean, it has one of this type of like world. So when you're seeing this many people responded to a survey, you're getting a really huge bias towards new people. And then on top of that, the people that are here convince their code Karens. Hey, halt, sir! That question was ill-formatted. I shall fix your question due to you being an idiot. I got it.
Well, that's just people on public forums on all there's people that, man, I know it's hard to believe when you got a family and you've got a career on YouTube and all this other stuff, but a lot of people don't have a life, dude. A lot of people are very socially inept. It's not like this culture supports any kind of like becoming communal and social with each other. So all they have is this bludgeon that gets them attention, gets them noticed, right? That they can rule over with petty fucking rules. This is kind of what happens when you the culture gets broken and put online and financialized.
Hey, that's a duplicate question. That's a
What do you
duplicate question.
expect?
This grammar is completely out of control. I shall fix your grammar. That question was answered. It's just the worst. It's actually the worst. It's just the worst.
Yeah, but it's to be expected.
Or even,
what do you expect? It's not like the people at Stack Overflow have a staff that's like monitoring these people for being assholes. They definitely are not. So what do you expect? Yes, we're going to eventually get some sort of AI and machine language tool, ML, that was going to scrape that stuff and make it easier to understand, because that stuff's garbage. Like the responses, there's got to be like someone going back and clean that stuff up. Like all this stuff that was so old, outdated, wrong, just wrong, often wrong.
even better, the answerer that's just like,
Yeah,
I know
Stack
you asked
Overflow.
question A,
Yeah.
but you know what's really nice question B?
Stack Overflow was like the worst thing that happened to computer software, because everyone just on the documentation side says, "Fuck it, we'll just put it, let people figure it out on Stack Overflow." That's not the right answer. That's for we're gonna go fast and break things and make everything look. All of the software that's been written so far is all technical debt. It's all gonna have to be rewritten. It's all bad. It's all crap. And that's why this micro monopoly revolution is happening with these new set of tools, one language, one set of UI, multiple targets from one set of code base, one set of languages, one company, one IDE. Like you don't have to go switching around. We have 6 teams of all the Python data science. It's like, no, you don't have to use all that stuff. Not necessary. Not for doing $1 million company or $2 million company or $5 million company. For doing $100 trillion company or $1 trillion company, yeah, all that crap. I'll throw everything in there. Fuck it. But if you're doing a micromonopoly, you can like delete most of that stuff, and most of the people too involved. You gotta find a niche and get the skill for doing the KMP for one platform. You learn one platform, and you get the rest for free. It's pretty amazing.
Stop using your stupid library, and you should just raw dog out this one. It's just like, man, sometimes even if you think the guy's doing some sort of XY problem, the guy, he asked why. Just let the man try to solve his own stupid problem. Okay. So, anyways, there's all these Stack Overflow people, right? And they're all here. And when a survey comes out, the survey probably is going to look something like this. Maybe the survey actually will optimize into these guys because these guys are around just answering questions all the time. So they're just like, yeah, get us in. But it's going to be heavily skewed towards new people. So why wouldn't new people be happy? My assumption is a lot of this data that's driving with unhappiness and the popularity of technologies are all these people that come in. When they start to learn, they start using like React server components. They're told to use Clerk because you...
Yes, the marketing divisions of the big tech companies is, look, it's super easy. All you gotta do is use our little tool and our framework, lock you in, and then we're gonna make it super easy to get this demo done for you. But your actual niche use case, you're kind of off on your own on that one, buddy. And we're never gonna mention that to you, by the way. We're just going to make it seem like everything's working out just great for everyone that ever touches our framework or listens to our marketing message. We'll never tell anything that's wrong or could be a problem here. We're trying to sell fucking stock tickets here. We're trying to get our stock evaluation up, ding dong. Oh, you think it's just we're trying to make it all easy for you? No, that's not what we're doing. We're trying to lock you into our shit so we can have a moat. So we don't have our lunch taken because we just got we're a social media poster board. we need to have something to make us look good.
Never roll your own off. They're told to do all these great things. They use something like Tailwind and all this crap, and everything's so fantastic. And they're just like, oh man, I'm on Vercel. Oh, this is so awesome. Everything's great. I don't have to know anything. I can just launch everything. Just press a couple buttons and everything's fantastic. This is so great. And then they get to a real job. And it's still using Mocha. It's on React 14. It's mostly just using jQuery for 3/4 of the site. And the backend's written with Django. But not just...
That's what I'm saying. These jobs you're getting into, instead of going and getting a job, maybe you should try and do your own thing with the latest tech, so you don't have to deal with all this old crap it was terrible when it came out. It's terrible now. It was just a tape slapped together crap. But now we've had time. JetBrains people have had time to look at all this shit and go, there's got to be a saner way. There's got to be a saner way. We don't have to have all this crap everywhere. Can we do this differently? And they're doing it differently. And you just have to learn one now. Learn Compose for the UI. You can do iOS. You can do Android. You can do desktop. You can do the web. Whatever else comes out. And then you have one language on the back end, and then you have the shared libraries between the two. So you're not trying to do one serialization library on the front end and a different serialization on the back end, and one with the JavaScript and got PHP over here. It's like, no, just one, and you have to learn one, and then you're doing it down to the metal. You're down on the native when you're doing it with one, down on the native. You're not. There's no layers. There's no Docker contain. You don't have to do any of that stuff. You don't. Seriously, you don't have to do all the documents. Maybe convenient for your use case, but you don't have to do that stuff. You just launch a Unix Linux server, run your Java app, open up the ports, and you're in business. Boom. There's nothing in between. There's no translation. Kotlin, one language. Keep going, Chris.
Django modern, but the Django 2012 or Java, Uncle Bob style, with a build system in grunt. Like, this is what actually happens. And I think that this like river right here of what you're told you're going to do versus what you're going to do, i.e. insert Mr. Incredible meme, this is truly a big problem. And I think this is where a lot of unhappiness comes from, is that you expect this world with no complication, everything's nice and padded, and man, you could build a world.
Yeah, that's what you get for listening to the marketing. You have to look beyond the marketing. And I guess you have to, like, I don't know, I started off before all the marketing hype was super crazy. It was just like hobbyist hype, so it was really super mild. And I saw it as it gets ramped up. And then I look at, every time it comes up, I look into it a little bit. It's like, oh, they're just doing the same old thing repackaged, and now they're just calling it something new. They're putting a new label on it, but it's the same old shit. And there's only so many things these computers can do, right? Store numbers, add numbers, compare numbers. What else? What are you doing? There's no magic going on here. And a lot of people, I think a lot of kids, they see the sci-fi version, which is fantasy. It's fantasy, right? And the marketing people use that shit, man. They use the fantasy life to make it seem like it's just gonna be, oh, I'm gonna be skipping to my loo and I'm in the ball pit, and all I have to do is this first cell and a couple little clickies, and look, it's a to-do app, and everything's hunky dory. It's like, no, man. No, that's the easy. That's the marketing brochure. That's the slick marketing. We used to have these marketing brochures with the software, and I showed you everything. Oh my God, it's the most amazing car, right? The marketing brochure. You look at them. It's like, yes, they're going to show themselves in the best image possible. It's only when you get into it, and also by the time you get into it, you've already got the sunk cost fallacy, and you're thinking, oh, I must be missing something because everyone else is doing it so great. It's like, no, man, no, you fell for the marketing.
Greatest to-do app. I mean, your to-do app is so beautiful. It has like 3 lines of code, and it just looks so awesome. Like, look at those 3 lines. They're so beautiful. Look at them. Would you look at them? No, zoom in even further. No, zoom in even further. No, zoom in even further. Further. More. But it's actually not that good because it's not engineering of any kind. Classic expectation versus reality, babe. Yeah. That's my whole guess here. But anyways, let's go. Let's see what Fireship has to say. Because when he said something that triggered all this. I forget what he triggered.
It's about the current state of programmers and
there you go. Stack Overflow being the current state of programmers. I don't necessarily believe it's actually the current state of programmers, nor do I think it's indicative of anything to do with programmers.
It's just
it's what it is largely dictated by either like, don't worry, I got this answer for the door wearing well actually software engineer, or B, completely brand new and stumbled upon this via Google.
Yeah.
How often do I use Stack Overflow? My guess is I've probably used Stack Overflow in the last 4 years, probably 8 times, 10 times, maybe 20 times. Big reason, of course.
I only use it for the brand new, latest, greatest thing that just came out, and the ChatGPT doesn't know about it yet. Well, I go to the docs, right, to the GitHub or whatever they're playing their docs at, and go look at it there. At the same time, I'll do a Stack Overflow search. At the same time, I'll start looking at both. And oftentimes, Stack Overflow is the only place you're going to have this. That's where you're going to find it, because actually nowhere else. It's starting to go more into discussions now that people are discovering you can have a discussion just inside your application. You don't have to go to Stack Overflow. But I guess for the SEO, I can't. Okay, whatever. But Stack Overflow is garbage.
Is that I'm learning Zig, and Zig has literally no documentation. And so sometimes I accidentally fall into Stack Overflow.
Right.
Technology. Not only will we look at this data, but also anecdotes from strangers on the internet to shed light.
That's becoming less and less. Less and less as time goes on, as we kind of know what these machines are capable of. And like things like KMP, where you have one language to do all the stuff, it's becoming less and less. Like the Kotlin and the JetBrains documentation, if you want to see how you're supposed to do documentation, Google, look at how JetBrains does their stuff. They got examples, it's up to date, it's spell checked, it's grammar checked. Like, they actually looks like they have a team just dedicated to doing that stuff correctly, and it's understandable. Google's bad. JetBrains, I think JetBrains may actually, If JetBrains doesn't like think about doing some sort of partnership to do a phone or some sort of mobile device or whatever for KMP, I think there might be leaving money on the table, because I mean, it's KMP is like a wrapper. It's like man, you can do a lot of stuff with KMP that was just not possible before.
Light on the underappreciated problems faced by those who code. Reason number one, the dollar bills, y'all. Money can't buy happiness, but let's be real. You've never seen anyone cry while driving a Lambo. Programmers are well paid, but not as well paid as you might think. They say if you learn PHP, you're guaranteed a Lambo, but here's a reality check. PHP is almost the lowest paid language with
having a Lambo is not all the things that it's cracked up to be. I don't know why people think that it's so great. This thing's a piece of shit.
A median salary of $49K. And to make matters worse, this was a decline from last year. The reality is that every PHP millionaire, like Zuck or Levels, is also an entrepreneur. The actual problem with PHP is that it's popular, and you'll notice that less popular specialized languages like Erlang and low-level languages like Rust earn better salaries. The best way.
I would also say, I think he's implying this, but when you have a low-level specialty language, you're working on like a few things. Like right now, you have Ghosty, you have Tiger Beetle, and you have Bun for Zig. Those are like your big Zig. Those are like your big Zig languages right now. Like that's it. And so because of that, because you have Ghosty, Tiger Beetle, and Bun, to be able to get a job here, it's like, are you a terminal expert? Are you a database expert? Are you a systems programming expert? And or like you can build the TypeScript type checking, right? Like
that's computer engineering stuff. I don't think people get into that stuff, but like there's way more opportunity in this micro monopoly stuff by using these tools, by developing. You know, for all these things can be done with Kotlin. By the way, you can do all this stuff in Kotlin. I don't know why you need to go anywhere else. It might be the last language for me because man, it does everything. It has every single target. Just people don't know about it yet, right? They're still tied into all these weird platforms.
There's just this like really, it's just like such specialty jobs. So Zig's pay is way up. Whereas PHP, it's like, can you work on my mother's WordPress site? This, for whatever reason, I know it's going to be shocking, does not pay as well as the database expert. And so when I hear like, oh,
right, but the number of jobs, right, that are available for the PHP is massive. You will never be out of work. You will never be out of work, ever. There's just PHP runs the web. Okay, okay. Still, even with all this SPA, oh my God, you gotta do everything Android. No, PHP runs the web. Now, there's going to be a whole bunch of jobs. There's only going to be a few jobs of these, and these guys are going to be real peculiar and particular. And if you're not really basically working on it already, forget about it.
PHP doesn't pay that much. It's just like, yeah, that's because anybody can do it, and the projects are anybody.
Not anybody, sir. Not anybody. It actually takes some skill set to do that, and I believe those numbers are off because the law of averages. But there are people who are making millions of dollars with PHP websites. You better believe it. And they're doing micro monopolies, but they're using PHP. And what I'm saying is, we don't got to use PHP anymore to do those types of applications. We can use Kotlin KMP and dominate that whole sector. Itchy
projects, right? Like they're really anybody projects. You could be in programming for like a half a year and be pretty productive in PHP, and you could make some decent money, right? When I say decent, I mean it's better than an RV chef, right? And you're working in a nice environment, and then you use it as a platform to hopefully do.
Well, you hope you are. Maybe you're in a third world country, and it's just better than digging in a ditch somewhere. I mean, come on, it is better than digging in a ditch. Let's be honest. If it's really ditch digging in PHP, I may do ditch digging one day a week just to keep my strength up. I mean, why not? If I'm already do a workout, I might as well get paid for it. But this is the time I'm doing PHP. Yeah, why not? Why not?
Do something better, right?
See, this is kind of this elitism stuff. It kind of gets to me a little bit.
Then why only PHP coders have Lambos? Because to start a company, you want to be able to start it and scale it for some amount of time. And if you start, this one's gonna get me in trouble. All right, here we go. We're doing it. And if you start it with,
who says you have to scale it? Maybe you could just keep it small. Why do you have to scale everything? Why does everything have to be scaled, VC, Netflix, microserviced out to the yin yang level? Didn't you know there's been a tech recession? That's
all of this crap, you're gonna go broke because Vercel's gonna charge you too much. React server components are gonna take too long and are unusable on any other platform. Clerk.js is gonna charge you way too much per user, and Tailwind's pretty awesome. Okay, Tailwind.
Right. So you can avoid all that by using KMP, and it goes right to the metal. So you don't have to. You can do an on-prem device. You don't have to use Vercel, Clerk, Tailwind, blah blah blah. You have an on-prem device, so you will be sure that you're never going to be charged by Amazon if you have an on-prem device. Okay.
We can all agree Tailwind's really not all that bad. That's a fine one. Okay, we can skip laughing at Tailwind, but the rest gonna make you broke, and so you actually can't get your startup past.
This is just web. What about mobile? What about desktop? No, never heard of it. Okay,
like your seed stage. Whereas PHP, they're gonna just be hosted on some sort of stupid VPS on Linode for $5 a month while making $1 million a month, and they're gonna just.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. VPS. We're some stupid. People make money on that stuff, dude. If you find a niche, you better believe we're gonna be using a VPS, and we're gonna be charging $8 a month while making how much we can make off our niche. Come on, buddy. KMP.
Like, well, there we go. I guess we're just making a lot of money instead.
The way to make more money, though, is to simply respawn in the United States, where salaries are higher, or learn how to talk to people so you can become a manager someday. Paradoxically, though, the depression rates are much higher in the United States than, say, Southeast Asia. So maybe it is true that money doesn't actually buy happiness. If you're getting into programming just...
It's very true. By the way, that last point was like super deep. There does come a point where making more money does not make you happier.
Right, past 125K, room board, whatever. Yeah, that's true. It actually is true. I've made a lot of money in my life before when I was running that startup DigiFX. I did pretty well. Yeah, after about 70, 80,000 at that time, which is probably like 160 for me. I wasn't going out and doing anything. I had a car and family and house. Everything was paid for. I just want to go do some more interesting stuff. That's why I took so much time off from tech. I was still going. I got into Thai yoga. I got into regular yoga. I became a hatha yoga instructor. I did all kinds of weird stuff, man. And I'm glad I took a break. I put millions of dollars. I left millions of dollars on the table. But I went and lived a different life and understood more about human nature.
It's just true. It's just true and factual. If anything, you'll almost start doing things that make you kind of more sad. You're trying to fill up that life hole with all the sushi dinners you can, and then you realize that sushi dinners and going home to your empty apartment.
Right. So I saw that coming, and I was like, I'm dipping out on that shit. I saw that was going to be my lifestyle, and I was like, no, not doing that. And some things are also decisions beyond my control, like going through a divorce, which I didn't want to do. But I accepted it and moved on.
Apartment and living the dream life actually isn't the dream life.
Just for the money, you might want to rethink that plan. Reason number 2, technical debt.
Yeah, that whole sushi life, dinner life thing. You've seen all those TikTok people like, I'm the life of a software marketing girl at Twitter. She's like, I'm doing a latte with my little dress. Blah, blah, blah. Here, I'm taking a nap now. she's not at that company anymore. So that's what happened. So he may not understand that things have changed. I mean, he sees a lot of headlines, I'm sure, but that life's over, man.
The number one shared frustration among professional developers is technical debt, and this is what technical debt actually looks like.
Yeah, technical debt is all the stuff I've been talking about. All these languages, all these libraries, all these frameworks, updating them. You got to redo around the cover. All that stuff's garbage. Delete it, move on. Quit trying to update it. It was never meant for that. It was never designed for that. Most people didn't expect that. Build it fast to break things, right? Was that what you said? Well, it's going to look like this. Your build facts and break things is going to look like this. It's going to look, where is it? Yeah. Right here. I keep going back. Right here. There it is. And all the business people who've invested so much money in this platform. Yeah, because you were trying to grab the 100,000x market share and you realize, you can only get 10x and your financing didn't quite work out. The numbers didn't quite work out and everyone's fired now. Yeah, because it was because of this. You can avoid all this stuff. One language, one set of libraries, front end, back end, all multiple targets, all. You don't have to do this stuff anymore. This is not a moat. This is a bridge to totally destroy those companies because you can take market share away from them because they're so inefficient with the layers and how long it takes them to react to customers, if they even are reacting to customers.
The code base is ugly and flawed, but it gets the job done, so we'll just keep building on top of it because starting over is too hard. This process goes on.
Yeah, starting over is too hard. What I say is start over. With micro monopoly, you're starting over. You're not going to use that old crap. You got to start over. That's the competitive edge. There's so much waste. There's so much bullshit that all these companies, they're scared to death that someone's going to come along like we are and take their lunch away. They should be scared.
On for years and decades until the code base is filled with I'll fix it later comments. And when you run get blamed to find out why the build fails when you remove this one line of code, it pulls up the obituary of some guy who worked there 8 years ago. That means the best thing to do is just not touch this code. We all want to do good work, but it's nearly impossible when faced with soul-sucking technical debt. But what can you do about it? Well, to be honest, pretty much nothing.
Pretty much nothing, except leave. You can sidestep it. You don't have to work on shitty code bases. You can actually start up a clean code base in your part-time, and by the time you find your niche, it could take 6 months, it could take a year, it could take a year and a half, but there's no rush. Who else is going to go down into your dog park social media app for your local dog park that you run a user group for? No one. So calm down.
It's no one programmer's fault, but a systemic issue caused by reason number 3, hustle.
So A, I don't think it's caused by hustle or die. But B, I believe the moment you accept the reality that all code that you did not write in the present moment is garbage and you contain no other expectation, you'll be a lot happier. You'll just be a happy person when you go, I'm going to work at a FANG company. I bet you there's some.
Look, there are companies that do actually take their code base seriously, but they're very rare because it takes someone with an engineering mindset and a longevity mindset, and also patience, and that you're going to address the market better than your competitor. And they just didn't have that confidence. All they saw is, I got to get there first to the low hanging fruit and pick those apples before somebody else does. And, you know, when you're slapping together ladders and rickety, like, so when you go up down the ladder 100 times and you wonder why this thing's falling apart, it's like, yeah, you built those ladders in a super fast hurry. It was a shanty town. There was a shanty town, guys. It's not a skyscraper. There's no engineering going on. We just slapped it up to get we want to sell shovels. We want to sell shovels for the gold rush.
Horrifying technical debt. You know what? I bet you when I go in there, I will actually be completely horrified by what I see. But you know what? I'm going to go in there and I'm going to do a good job. Maybe I'll refactor something small.
That's not what they ask. By the way, they're not asking you to refactor something small. They want this thing to make it go fast again and be better than all their competitor before they lose their funding round 6.
And that's the reality. Is like if you go in there with any other attitude, I think you're gonna be sad. I think that if you let people write code,
I guess what happens. That's why 80% of the devs are unhappy with their jobs. Because they're asked to go in and clean up somebody else's abandoned pile of shit.
Absolutely no pressure, and to write the world's most perfect code, I think you would have identical, terrible code in 6 months.
No. It depends on who it is, right? It depends on what are you trying to get to. Are you trying to hyper fast as possible and get to the end? Well, you're going to have problems, man. Slow is smooth, smooth is fast. I know people don't want to hear it. It's like you have to break fast, move fast to get your Adderall, get your Vyvanse, go get your code in there. It's like, okay, you can take some time and plan it out. So when you do have a code base, that you'll be able to support it. Maybe bring somebody on, and you won't have to onboard them for 6 months. You can onboard them for 2 weeks because you've spent time to build it well. So when it comes time to sell it or get an acquisition or somebody wants to acquire it, it's not going to be a nightmare. Totally unusable. Totally unextendable. The problem is not building it. The problem is maintaining it. The problem is not building it. The problem is maintaining it. It's always been the problem. It's never not been the problem. Maintaining and extending has always been the problem. You have to think about your use case at a time to make sure it's well. And you're probably going to write it for one time and throw it away. Write it once, throw it away. And write it like you're actually writing it. It's functional. And then throw it away. Build it again with the understanding that we're going to make this maintainable, extendable. All right, keep going.
Or die culture. As you write code, you've got tech lead pressuring you to close out all these tickets before the end of the sprint, who's being pressured by the engineering manager to ship this product by the end of the quarter, who's being pressured by the VP to execute on the product strategy, who's being pressured by the CEO to jack up revenue, who's being pressured by BlackRock to beat earnings, who's being pressured by anonymous deep state trillionaires to find interdimensional wars beyond your comprehension.
Yeah, beyond your comprehension. So look, man. So that's what's going on. So how could people actually be happy in that? How could a human being be happy in that? We have these layers of people who are only in it for the money. Let's be real honest. They're not in it because it's super fun and neat. That's like a maybe, kind of, sort. Maybe they're into the Lambo lifestyle, blinged out, hookers and blow, zerp. And you wonder why these guys are assholes.
The machine has to keep moving, and all this pressure
All
is eventually released through the boots on the ground software engineers, which come in the form of unrealistic timelines and expectations. Now, what you can do about it is quit your job. The turnover rate among software engineers is extremely high because
Right. So what I'm going to encourage is turnover, but don't be stupid about it. If you don't know about KMP, if you don't know about Kotlin, if you don't know what's going on with JetBrains, look into it. Look into it because it's pretty amazing what they've got planned. Their marketing of it is terrible for developers like me who can see what's going on, and they're like unifying all this stuff into a real solid engineering behind it. They're not fucking around, man. They're not just. This isn't a weekend spur hackathon thing. No, they've been working for this for years. Kotlin was like 2012 when it first came out. Man, Kotlin's a juggernaut, man.
Unlike many other industries, you can often make a lot more money by switching jobs, but you still might not be happy if you end up working for a corporate dynasty.
Okay, so the ZERP job hopping thing, that's over. That's not a thing. That's not over. That's over, man. That's the ZERP job hunting to get an extra over. For the next 5 to 7 years, what we're seeing is having a company culture, a tiny company culture, where you all are on board with this mission, whatever that is, that's attractive. That's the attraction, not the job hopping for higher salary. The job finding for job satisfaction. I've worked at these companies, and it's amazing. It's super fun when everyone's on the same board, and it's not about the money. You're trying to do some other thing. Super fun. Now, money has to be there, of course, but it can't be the main driving factor of rushing to the low-hanging fruit. It's more like putting up an attractive storefront that serves your customers the way they want to be served.
Where you become nothing.
It is sad that we have to switch jobs. I do think we would have less enshittification, generally speaking, in the software world if we took more time, or if engineering managers took more time to read the field.
Oh, the engineering managers to read the field, sir. This guy, he's lived. He's obviously not worked. He has not had the normal. Well, he did. He said he had it once, and he was like, "Oh my God, soul crushing." Well, what do you think everything other companies like? They're mostly like that, dude. Come on. If the engineering manager would have taken into more consideration, shut up.
Determine proper salaries and give out pay raises instead of letting people leave. I really do think that
don't let them do what you want them to do. Give them the pay raises instead of having them leave. Don't you think they tried that? Don't you think that they were leaving a company like the scheduling one that you were working at, and they're like, I can't deal with it no more. I don't give a fuck. How much do you want to pay me? I'm out of here, bitch.
Jobs for more money. It's just like, that's just such an awful way to go about things. Like, if you
it's an awful way to go about it. Welcome to America. The business in America is business. If you're an employee, you're going to be fucked over. Period. You're going to be fucked over, man. So the idea is that you're supposed to go through these experiences and eventually have your own business somehow, some way. And if you can't, well, sorry, man. You're just not going to be one of the ones. I'm sorry. It's just how it is. You have to invite yourself. And if you can get there and serve a customer, you got it. And if you can't, sorry, it's just how it is, man. I mean, I've gone back to being an employee because I know I didn't have the skills to do my thing again. I had to go get my skills by working for other people and getting my skill up and paying attention and saving my money and looking for opportunities. Like, come on, this is America, dude. It's not socialist country where you're guaranteed a job for life. Where are you coming? Where is that shit? That's not how this happens. That's not how Netflix came around. Do you think Netflix would have came around if Blockbuster was like, we're going to retain our employees better and we're going to go ahead and expand out to this internet thing? I was like, they didn't do that. Netflix did that. And guess what? That's how it works, man. There's no guarantees of jobs or any of that shit. It's how can you get people to give up their money willingly for the thing you're offering and figuring that out. What do people want that you got that you can give them better than they can give themselves? This is not rocket science. It's not gosh, if we had the job hopping and the salaries, we'd just pay them. It's like, shut up, dude.
Your job. What happens if you just have a job you don't mind? It's pretty good. It's okay. It's not the world's greatest job. It's not the world's worst job. Totally great place to be happy.
Now, wouldn't we all like that? Wouldn't it be nice that it was just like that? That was just handing out a job. Oh, you just have an easy job, go in and out. You pay well and everything. Don't you think that's what most people want? Don't you think that the guy working in the McDonald's would rather have the job he just gets handed to? And no. Why would he choose to go to McDonald's if he just have a job handed to him? Sir? No, you don't know? See, this is what happens when people work at these companies for too long. They don't understand what business is all about.
Happy. You're gaining all this tribal knowledge. You have all this ability to move within the
Tribal
organization.
knowledge.
Dude, give that guy a raise. Don't let him leave. What are you doing? Like, really, what are you
We're trying to trim the fat is what we're doing. This guy wasn't pulling his weight, man. And we found a way to do it better and cheaper and faster so we could give the savings along to our stockholders or our customers, whichever makes sense at the time. Dude.
doing? Don't let somebody leave like that. That person is worth so much more.
Maybe they weren't worth so much more. Maybe the business made the right decision to let them go. Maybe they were overpaying him in already. Maybe he was on a PIP. Maybe he wasn't really pulling his weight, or maybe he just didn't like him. You can get fired for people not liking you. Did you know that? That's a thing.
They leave, whatever product they're working on stops getting improved for some while of time before you can actually get somebody hired in the position. Then, when they're hired in the position, they're not effective for some amount of time. Then, when they are starting to become effective, they actually don't have all the connections you have where you can actually go and talk to all these people and get things done in a wider area of effect. Then, you also have no camaraderie.
Who says he was doing that? That's what you do. Who says he was doing that? Maybe he was hanging out at the ping pong table. Maybe he was at the ball pit all day. Maybe he was caught napping too much of the nap pod. You ever think about that?
With any of your teammates, so your teammates aren't necessarily thinking about you, and you just don't have the same communication style and all that. So then the company ends up paying like a year's worth of time distributively for engineers over the course of a couple months. Plus, it actually cost them like literally $100,000 when they could have just paid you $20,000 more.
Or they could go find somebody else that kind of maybe fits better and start them off at the $80,000 and let them work up and be enthusiastic and not a pain in the ass taking naps in the ball pit.
It's just like, yo, dog, don't be so stupid. Just give these people a raise that you see that are successful in your company and move.
Okay, I want to go work for this guy's company. Hey, Primetime Primogen, when you start hiring people, I want to go work for your company where you're going to get me to stick around no matter what the hell I do. I can sleep in the ball pit. I can go do the nap pod, bring my buddies in, and have a beer party at noon every time. And you're just going to give me a raise, right? Because I'm successful at your company, right? I put the PRs in, right?
Move on. It's stupid. It's actually stupid for you to do this. They spend more money in the end. It's not about them having the money.
Are they?
Like, really, be greedy, companies. Be greedy and just
Are you sure? Maybe they are being greedy. Maybe that person was just not really working out and everyone knew it. They just didn't have to tell you about it. They just set it up so it would be easier for them to leave.
Employees more so you don't have turnover. Like, it's actually stupid.
Maybe turnover is important. Maybe people need to see turnover. You ever think about that? These big companies, they get a little lazy. They see some turnover. Nope, better not. I don't want to be one next one. Do you think that these manager people don't know some tricks? Do you think the management at these venture capitalist companies haven't learned a couple tricks and some things about productivity at these companies? Don't you think that they know the square root of the number of people at the company do half the work? Do you think that they don't know that? Maybe the Primogen don't know that. When you have these big, huge companies, it becomes very depersonal. It's not personal, buddy. I think what Primogen wants is a small company like a Micro Monopoly, like I'm talking about. So when he gets his going, I want to go work at it because he's going to have some great employee benefits.
Stupid to lose your team every 2 years. It's wild. It's actually like it blows my mind. I don't even have a way to like relate this.
No, it doesn't. It shouldn't blow your mind if you ever had to work at manage with these big companies and manage the costs and all the things that go along with it, and listening to what you haven't heard, the people above you, how they think about you. You kind of have to get a little gray in your beard to know some of this stuff because it's not pleasant. It's not pretty. It's realistic. It's human nature. But it's not nice to hear about it, and I'd rather just not know. How about? Yeah.
They lose so much on onboarding, recruiting, and then tribal knowledge, all of that. And plus your product becomes enshittified because then everything becomes, because you gotta remember when you're new to a code base, not only does it look bad to you, you don't even know the reasons why it's there. So it's like double awful legacy. You're like, oh.
Yeah, that's normal. So what? That's how it is. That's how it's been the whole time. Do you ever think that's not been this way? Do you think there are these companies that just have really invested all their time in making sure a code base is perfect before they get to market? Don't you think they've tried that before, sir? Don't you think, where do you think Agile came from? Where do you think the whole Agile movement came from in the 90s? All these projects were at a complete standstill, and we're just soaking up visuals, and by the time they got to market, they were already completely obsolete. So what are you going to do?
Oh, this is bullshit and it's stupid. And you're just like, you just have no idea. You know what I mean? It's just crazy.
More than a cog. Many companies are so bloated with bureaucracy that it becomes nearly impossible to get anything done.
Right. So you want to go work at these companies. People want to go, I want to go to Google, I want to work at Facebook. You're going to be one of these, man. Like, why am I so unhappy? This place is very dehumanizing. I feel like a cog in a machine. Well, what do you think you're getting into, retard? Yeah, I'm going to use that word. You're kind of slow. Slow on the uptake. You think you're going to go into this thing and doing the startup thing that got them started? No, that was years ago. It was 20 years ago. You want to do that? You have to do it on your own. And man, there's just not a lot of people are telling you how to do it because it takes a special kind of person to want to get into that stuff. Most people want to do this, and they don't understand why they're on Lexapro journey for doing this all day. Come on, man.
When programmers have to go to meetings to schedule pre-meetings to discuss the agenda for the upcoming meeting about
yes, because that's the people above you. That's how they spend their time. They don't know how to do your engineering stuff. This is their work. You're doing their work. How are these people going to justify their things without having meetings about their stuff? Okay, if you really hate the stuff, you have to get rid of these people. I know. It's terrible, isn't it? And it's terrible. But you have to get rid of them because every single one of them is going to have a meeting about the meeting to discuss the meeting. Because they don't know how to do your stuff. You can learn their stuff, but they can't learn your stuff, man. I'm talking about you developers out here. You can learn theirs, and then you can hire people who won't do the meetings on the meetings on the meetings. They're good because we're going to be in sync, right? You're going to pick your people you're in sync with, like all these companies do. And you're going to build it that way. And you're not going to try and hyper fast go to the low-hanging fruit because there's no low-hanging fruit except in these micro-monopolies. There's low-hanging fruit all over the place. But you're not going to be the agenda of the meeting at the beanbag ping-pong ball pit company.
last week's meeting, they start to become disillusioned. Viktor Frankl showed us how a man can find meaning in life despite the most horrific of circumstances, like an extermination camp, but he never had to get programming work done between 7 meetings with product managers who have
way worse
conflicting requirements. Meetings might kill your focus, but ultimately it's hard to be happy if you feel like your work is contributing.
Yeah. Catch error. Throw it again. It's fine. Obviously not understanding basics. I've seen this. I've seen it in these code bases. I was like, what are you doing? If you don't understand why this is silly, I have a free programming course, and it gets into this about why this is goofy. It's on my channel.
I mean, I've written that. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. We've all written that. Okay, we've all written catch error. You add a logging line, and then you throw the error. Okay, that's effectively errors as values. But if you write this literal line where you just catch and throw, you are a bad person. You are a bad person. But if you write catch, log something, then throw, I mean, dog, you got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? You can't help that, okay? Okay, you can't. I mean, there's nothing you can do about that one. Guilty.
Meaning nothing of value to the world. Now, even if you have a great job, a great salary, and a great boss, you'll probably get laid off around the age of 25 when you become too old to code. All the recent layoffs.
Yeah. You know what's really funny about that is when I got into software development, it was a bunch of old guys. It was like at least 35 and up. All developers, at least 30s. And I was a young guy, self-taught as well. I'd been to computer college, and I graduated high school when I was 16. I went to college, and I just didn't have my degree. And I had to really prove myself as a young person to these older people who were like very side-eyed, skeptical that somebody would even deign to know anything about what they're talking about. And so the roles have flipped. They're stressed because you're trying to go without skill to go to this low-hanging fruit, and they're being pushed by ZERP people who don't know how to program. They have no interest in that. They just know how to get the money, right? They just know how to get the money and get their friends involved and make it look good, right? Make it look and do the marketing and all that stuff, and then in the sales. But they don't know anything about what's actually going to have to make the tooling to make this stuff so far, except for Kotlin and this KMP stuff, has been terrible, like unbelievably bad. Like why they keep having to revamp and redo it every 2 years? It's like because it's garbage. It was crap to start with. It was never meant to do what we were using it to do. With KMP, though, they designed it from the ground up with all that knowledge, and like, okay, this is how we should have done it from the beginning, and it's pretty cool. Like
hangover from
at least
COVID
for me,
is
I
black belt a large segment of the industry. But programming can also be very unhealthy physically. According to science, being chained to a chair all day is more unhealthy than smoking. But also according to science, exercise is one of the best.
And that's what, okay. So I just want to say that that's one of the reasons why I quit the tech after I sold my startup and went and got into yoga. I had to lose about 100 pounds, and I revamped my body. And I'm lucky that I got out when I was still young because I've seen some people get real wrecked.
If not the best medicine for depression. So that's an easy bug to fix.
For those that don't know, the UK was talking about implementing exercise as a first response to depression. So when somebody comes in and says, "Hey, I'm feeling really depressed," the doctor's like, "Well, before I can give you medication, you need to start working out X days a week," which is probably really obvious. Just like for a second, just think about life. We have used our bodies to build society for like the last.
Well, yes, it's obvious, but if you need to create a society of industrial workers who need to sit still in an office, you can't be talking about you need to go up and exercise, move around. No. We're talking about efficient workers. Rockefeller Foundation, education, what is it called? Department of Education, deliberate dumbing down. Never heard of it? Deliberate dumbing down? Isobite? You can look into it. There's a reason why people are not capable.
That's forever years, and now we don't move anymore.
And we're also super unhealthy and ultra confused. Public school is... If you went to public school, I did too. I feel sorry for you. If you went in the last 20 years, I feel sorry for you. But you have to understand, they were doing a mind control program to make people sit still and shut up and not be creative and take orders.
More, and there's something about that that's probably, our brain and our body aren't just somehow disconnected. So a bit of movement and sweating is probably really good for you.
Probably really good for you? No, stupid. It's like you have to do it. Otherwise, you're going to get sick and die early. You're going to die right around the time that Social Security kicks in.
It probably changes
I wonder how they figured that out.
Whole set of things. Yeah, classic British W. One of the few of them. Spirituality is at least somewhat linked to happiness. I think it depends on the spirituality because not all
Get the fuck out of here.
spiritualities are created equal. I'm not sure if you could throw. I don't know if you could throw Buddhism, worshiping Satan, and Christianity onto the same boat of spiritualism.
Look, man, you gotta have to live for something bigger than yourself. And if you don't, you just fall down this nihilistic pit, and everything doesn't make sense because everything's fucked.
Then, of course, liberals waking up on calling yoga spiritualism. I'm not sure which one that is. Like whatever.
Oh my god. This guy.
All of that is, they're not all created equal.
They're not. How do you know? Maybe they are. How do you know?
And so I can't quite tell where those all go. Depends on the spirits. Yep.
Yeah, good.
Yep, pretty normal. Drink milk, touch grass, classic. Wait, hold on. Say that again. I think the UK just passed the US in the percentage of obese people. Holy cow! Damn, I would not have thought that about the UK. I always heard people over in the European region have all this really nice natural food and everything is great.
Oh my god. Okay, I've had enough. I can't take any more. Give me a like and subscribe. Go over. I'm gonna give him a link for the rest of his video if you want to watch it in the description. Diddly doodly thing. Give me a like and subscribe, and I'll talk to you soon.